How is it going, everyone? The PlayStation Store is running its end of the year sale right now, and a lot of good deals available. Gonna be looking at some games that are a little bit more expensive in this video, but still are under $20. So you're not gonna be totally breaking the bank, but as you know, on this channel we cover a lot of under 10, under 5. Soma for $1.49, definitely a great deal under the $2 range, but now some more expensive deals, still some great stuff to check out, so let's just get right into it, and let's kick things off with Persona 5 Royal, 70% off for $17.99. This is a brand new historic low for the game as well. Persona 5 Royal is generally considered to be one of the best JRPGs of all time. It's a fantastic game, even if I am not as crazy about the Persona games as a lot of other people. I can definitely ascertain that the games are fantastic. Great characters, great narratives, soundtrack is awesome, and the gameplay is great as well. Like, as far as turn-based battle systems go, Persona 5 does it pretty damn well, and Royal obviously adds a ton of additional content, like a sizable amount of extra stuff as well. And for $18, you're talking about a game that you could easily spend 100 hours on, and for that, I think it's a pretty damn good pickup. Definitely would give that a recommendation. Next up, we do have Miasma Chronicles, $10.49 on this. This is a game that I really enjoyed. I played it back when it came out, and the XCOM style combat, while I'm not totally into tactics games, I do enjoy that style, and Miasma Chronicles with its setting. I really need a good setting and story backdrop for me to enjoy these games, and Miasma Chronicles I thought had a really great setting and story. And as far as the story, initially I thought it was incredibly compelling, and by the end it's still pretty good. It's just the pacing goes complete haywire by the end as well. Like, it felt like they had to rush to the finish, but yeah, overall I really did enjoy the game. I found the characters likable, and for $10.49, definitely a good pickup here if you're into tactics titles. Assassin's Creed Odyssey Gold Edition, 85% off for $14.99. You get AC Odyssey, you get the DLC, and you get Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered. From a value standpoint, this deal is awesome, and you know, if you're gonna play through AC Odyssey, that's a sizable undertaking in its own right, but Assassin's Creed 3 on top of that, I really did enjoy Assassin's Creed 3, even though as far as, you know, all of the Assassin's Creed games, I probably would rank, at least all of the Assassin's Creed games pre-Origins, I would probably rank it a little bit lower, but I still had a pretty good time with it, and, you know, to get that as a bonus with Odyssey, I think that's a pretty good deal. $14.99, great pickup there. Definitely would give that a recommendation, and that's coming from somebody, as you guys know, not crazy about the newer style of Assassin's Creed games, but for this price, definitely a good pickup. Sonic Frontiers, $17.99 on this. I love Sonic Frontiers. I thought it was a great game, and it really showcased what Sonic could evolve into. Fingers crossed that we get the Sonic Frontiers sequel in 2026. It really does feel like Sega's annualizing Sonic as far as game releases go. We've had a yearly Sonic title for a while now, and I would imagine we're going to get another one in 2026. What that game is going to be, I don't know, but Sonic Frontiers was a great game that I think if they did a sequel of, man, they could develop and build upon it, and it could be even better in the next title. So we'll see how that turns out. $17.99 though for Sonic Frontiers, great game, and as I've said before, Sonic Frontiers has a soundtrack so good that I feel like it shouldn't even have a soundtrack this good, but the Sonic games, just generally speaking, as far as their soundtracks go, even the lesser games, like, you guys remember the Sonic and the Secret Rings theme song? Like, that song was a banger. It's just Sonic casually having these absolutely phenomenal tracks in the game. Next up, we got Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion, 60% off for $19.99. I grew up playing Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII, so obviously there's going to be a bit of a nostalgia bias there, but I thought Crisis Core was a really solid game. What you have to know going into this game is, yes, while there is a visual uplift, at the end of the day, this is still a PSP game, so keep your expectations in line, and while it is a Final Fantasy game, this game isn't that long. If you go through the main story, it's a game you can complete in like 15 to 17 hours. Now, that would be you rushing a little bit, and I think you could get more mileage out of it if you do all the side content and whatnot, but it's not a super lengthy game. But overall, Crisis Core is an awesome game, and the story of Zack is very consequential to the overall narrative of Final Fantasy, so definitely a game I would recommend you to check out, but for $19.99, that is a great pickup there. Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin is 60% off for $15.99. Now, this game is a little hilarious. The story and the voice acting is kind of cringe. The main character has to be one of the funniest main characters I've ever experienced out of a video game, but I will say, even though the story and the narrative is kind of nonsensical, by the end and how they handle the end, I thought was really well executed. You know, that's kind of a rarity where the overall story I wouldn't say is that good, but then the ending of the game I just thought was really well handled. And for $15.99, I think this is a really great deal. Definitely would recommend it if you're into action games. It's a Souls-like Final Fantasy title, however, there are difficulties, so, you know me, I'm not gonna judge you if you play it on easy, you know what I'm saying? But, a fun game nonetheless, definitely not worth a full $60, but at $15.99, again, a pretty decent pickup. There is some DLC available as well, but, yeah, you can pick that up if you do want, but $15.99 on that. Tales of Arise Beyond the Dawn Edition is 75% off for $14.99. Excellent, excellent deal for Tales of Arise and Beyond the Dawn expansion. Now, Beyond the Dawn is kind of mid, but honestly, if you play through Tales of Arise and you just want more time with the characters, Beyond the Dawn will give you that, and I still think it's a worthwhile game to go through, a worthwhile portion of the content to go through, but the main story and the main content is really the bulk of Tales of Arise, and that stuff is pretty damn good. You know, not my favorite Tales of game, but still a pretty solid game, and that's what I've always said about Tales of. If you want to talk about franchises that are incredibly consistent in their output in terms of quality, Tales of is exactly that, and yeah, this is no different. Good story, likable cast of characters, and for $15 with the expansion, a good pickup there. Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown Complete Edition is 60% off for $15.99. Rumblings that we're going to get the announcement of the Sands of Time remake at the Video Game Awards, and then it's going to come out in January. Fingers crossed that that does come to fruition, but Lost Crown, while it did have the absolute worst debut trailer maybe of all time, the game itself was awesome. I thought this was a great Metroidvania action title. The visuals and the art style was good. The puzzles I thought were pretty well done, and the combat was enjoyable as well. The game could get pretty challenging. For $15.99, think it's a good pickup. You get the DLC here as well. Definitely would give that a recommendation. Next up, Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection is $19.79. You get all of the Mega Man Battle Network games, Battle Network 1 through 6, and with 3 onwards, they do the Pokemon gimmick with 2 different versions, and you get all of the versions as well. Battle Network is awesome. The thing about the Legacy Collection is a lot of people will start with Battle Network 1, as you probably should, and they drop the franchise based on that. Battle Network 1 is so dated, and I mean, at the end of the day, these are Game Boy Advance games, so they're gonna have a little bit of that element of being dated, but BN1 especially is dated, and Battle Network 2 I feel like took the fundamentals that BN1 set in place and then really developed upon that. Battle Network 1 is still decent, however, the navigation in the game is an atrocity, and some of the narrative content and just how they do the content in that game, not very good, but at $19.79 for Battle Network Legacy Collection, definitely a good pickup there. Eternal Strands is $11.99. Now, this came out not too long ago, and it was really well received. Came out in January of this year and is already 70% off. I haven't had a chance to really check it out, but I know a lot of people really did enjoy it. Fight epic towering creatures while blending magical abilities with an arsenal of powerful weapons to keep the world from crumbling in a third-person action adventure. You play as Brynn, a young but fearless warrior determined to recover her people's cultural home. In the debut fantasy action adventure title from Yellow Brick Games, the world is your weapon, a weaver of magic, stand against the giants, unstable climate to master, in a world rich with secrets. All that for just $11.99. Check out Eternal Strands. Psychonauts 2, 80% off for $11.99, an awesome platformer here that unfortunately didn't get a lot of attention, but man, this is really well done. Has the quirkiness from Psychonauts 1, a lot of charm, a bit of humor, but for $11.99, a great pickup there as well if you're remotely into platformers. That's always going to be a pretty good pickup, especially at this price point. And then lastly, gotta give a shout to Vanillaware and Odin Sphere Leifthrasir. That is down to $14.99. Odin Sphere was really Vanillaware's coming out party. It ended up being a PlayStation 2 greatest hits title, and you've got it upgraded for PS4 and obviously playable on PS5. Completely redrawn graphics and redesigned gameplay. You got the 2D action RPG that once again has that awesome Vanillaware style that people know and love, and you've got additional content there as well. Odin Sphere is just a great time, and for $14.99, definitely a good pickup there. But that is going to do it for me. Again, a lot of great game deals, and all of these come at you at the price of under $20. Some great stuff here. Links to everything, as always, in the description box below. That is going to do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Sound off there. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.